Okay, so we are beginning our online international education fair and the webinar is about to start. I can see we have about 100 students. I want to thank you for joining us today. I hope this is going to be a useful information when you're going to be attending till the end of the webinar. You will be able to learn about the scholarships, application fee waivers, the COVID-19 updates, and many more. So watch till the end and ask any question that you have. I hope it's going to be worth. Thanks.
As I speak, and I will start the presentation. First of all, to all the students, it's my pleasure and honor to be here with you, and thank you for the invitation to visit. Again, as my colleagues Ankita and Jeff has mentioned, I come from the University of Bridgeport, and I serve currently as the Dean of the School of Engineering, Education, and Business, and also I'm the University Executive Vice President. For those of you who are not necessarily very familiar with the University of Bridgeport, the University of Bridgeport is roughly 93-year-old. We are in the northeast part of the US. We are very strategically located between New York and Boston. And we are actually one of three universities that are seaside universities in the northeast part of the country. So as you can see from the first slide, we have an amazingly gorgeous campus by the Atlantic Ocean. We have been established, again, as I mentioned, 93 years ago. We are a comprehensive doctoral university, meaning we offer all kinds of programming, starting from the bachelor's level all the way to master's and PhD programs in the various disciplines that we teach, including, of course, varying disciplines in engineering, computing, science, technology, business, and many, many others. Bridgeport is kind of very strategically located from an industry point of view. We are on the Gold Coast, again, between Boston and New York, which is actually incredibly beneficial to our students in the various degree programs and the international students in particular, because that particular strategic location offers a set of incredible opportunities for doing co-ops and internships while the students are in the program, which is something that we aspire to having all of our international students do while they are studying in the program itself. University has a very, very significant and large graduate engineering program population, and actually the second largest graduate engineering school population in Fairfield County. We offer a wide variety of programming at both the bachelor's, master's, and PhD programs. At the bachelor's level, we offer programs within the college in areas like computer science, computer engineering, all of the business disciplines, and also mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and computer engineering technology. And also we have several concentrations within these undergraduate degrees in emerging and futuristic areas like analytics, like finance, like nanotechnologies, robotics and automation, artificial intelligence, digital and integrated marketing, and many other concentrations that are available across the board within the various undergraduate degrees for all of our students. At the graduate level, we offer various programming. We have 10 degree programs at the master's level within the school, including a master's level degree program in computer science, in computer engineering, in mechanical engineering, in electrical engineering, in biomedical engineering, in technology management, and also a newly launched and very popular Masters of Science degree program in artificial intelligence. In addition to Masters of Science degrees in finance, in data analytics and business intelligence, and of course, our MBA program with various concentrations in the MBA program. We also offer PhD programs, computer science, computer engineering, and in technology management. Our actual PhD program in technology management is one out of 5 such programs in the whole country. In addition to the degree programs, we also offer very significant interdisciplinary programming within all of the degree programs that I mentioned at the graduate level. And that interdisciplinary programming and course and research opportunities are available in, again, emerging and market-oriented, career-oriented areas like data analytics, like finance, robotics and automation, wireless and mobile computing, Internet of Things, cloud computing, nanotechnologies, and many, many different other areas of concentration that are interdisciplinary that are available for the students in our various degree programs. The university is a comprehensive doctoral research university, which actually is important for our international student population in particular, because again, being an international student, you want to peruse the opportunities that are available, given the extensive set of research centers and laboratories that the university has. So, as an example, one of the most famous and well-known robotics and automation centers in the world is our Robotics Intelligence Sensing and Control Laboratory, which is an interdisciplinary lab in which our undergraduate students in computer science, computer engineering, electrical engineering, and mechanical engineering, in addition to all of our master's degree students and all the degree programs in engineering and our PhD students, work collaboratively with faculty, with postdoctoral fellows, and with undergraduate and graduate students working on amazing projects. And the experience that most of our undergraduate and graduate students acquire by working in several of these very extensive and interesting research centers spans the possibility of taking courses in these interdisciplinary areas, also provides for a very significant set of undergraduate and graduate research opportunities that our undergraduate and graduate students pursue while they are in the degree programs. So as a graduate student, as an example, in electrical engineering, you will have the opportunity after taking your core classes to decide to specialize, for example, in an area like wireless and mobile computing or Internet of Things or robotics and automation by taking several classes in these areas as technical electives and doing your master's thesis or bachelor's design project, or of course, if you're a PhD student, your PhD dissertation within that particular area. One of the specific characteristics that we are very, very proud of is not, of course, the available research opportunities, but also the opportunities for industry engagement. Many of the projects and many of the offerings that we do at the graduate and undergraduate level provides for very significant co-op and internship possibilities in industries while you are in the program. It is very typical, and more than 80 to 85% of our students are able to go and work after the first 9 months of their study in the US in one of over 500 companies that we have very significant collaboration with. And that, of course, adds a very significant piece because usually at the end of the day, most of these undergraduate or graduate students who elect to participate in this co-op and internship program not only get compensated very handsomely for working during the summers or sometimes during the semester in these companies, but they also usually end up getting full-time job opportunities and offers from these companies for permanent employment upon graduation. We are a very international university. We have always enjoyed, actually, particularly with the country of India, a very long and historical relationship. After India's independence in the mid to late 40s, the very first batch of international students that arrived on campus was actually due to an executed relationship between the University of Bridgeport and the government of the country of India to provide opportunities for studies both at the undergraduate and graduate level to the families of in the Indian Army veterans. And that historical tradition has continued through the year. Our university is actually one of the top 10 typically cited most international doctoral comprehensive universities in the US. Our graduate population has always been significant, and we have always enjoyed that kind of relationship with our international students, with very strong international relationships and student affairs offices that serve our graduate and undergraduate international student population. It is also worthwhile mentioning that in many cases, and a very significant percentage of our international students are able to acquire employment on campus in a variety of manners. Many of our undergraduate and graduate international students, a significant percentage, are able to be work-study students working in the various labs at the University of Bridgeport. They are also able to become and usually peruse the opportunity of being graduate assistants, either research assistants working with faculty and actually getting compensated for that work on research projects from their externally funded grants. Also, many of them that have the opportunity of becoming teaching assistants, helping our faculty teach classes in the various disciplines and grading and conducting laboratories and such for the courses that the faculty teach. So the proposition is our education, number one, is very real, very experiential because of the heavy industry involvement, not only in co-ops and internships, but also in providing projects and the classes that are industry relevant. And not only that, the opportunities that exist for employment on campus are very significant, which really allows for the value proposition of the education and the out-of-pocket expenses to be significantly reduced. So basically, most of the GAs provide for tuition remission for our students after they come on campus if they are able to be graduate assistants or work-study students, which significantly lessens the burden of tuition and fees. In addition, of course, to the handsome compensation and the amazing work experience that our students get while they are in the program via going and working in industries within the region during the summer of their studies and sometimes during the last semester that they study here. Our range of collaboration with industries spans the gamut of computing industries, defense industries, and also the pharmaceutical industries and the insurance businesses. We have amazing relationships and very significant employment opportunities and co-op and internship opportunities with companies like Pitney Bowes, Sikorsky, Amazon, IBM, Hartford Insurance, UPS, and many, many other companies. And this really helps build the portfolio of the students while they are studying the courses. The mix of research opportunities provided via our research centers and lab, the co-op and internship possibilities, the 100% placement upon graduation that is a typical characteristics of our graduate and undergraduate programs in the college, in addition, of course, to the service component and the global engagement piece, provides incredible growth opportunities for our students. The admission requirements are on the screen, as you probably can all see through this expose. And of course, we look very much forward towards receiving your applications and considering you for admission within the various degree programs. Next slide, please.
Dr. Tariq, we are done with the slides.
Okay.
This is back to the tuition and fees, Ankita.
Let me defer to my colleague because I can see the screen very well from here. My colleague would be Jeff to maybe discuss the tuition and fees. Actually, I see it now. If you go back to the tuition and fees, I'll be able to talk about it briefly.
Yeah.
As you can see, at the graduate level, I'll start with the graduate level. Our tuition and fees, typically for students within the college, ranges between 16,000 to 21,000 or so per program. And of course, that is typically offset by the scholarship component, which ranges anywhere between 3,000 to 5,000. And given our admission standard, the vast majority of the students admitted are actually able to achieve and be awarded that merit scholarship, which makes the value proposition and the out-of-pocket expenses for the graduate programs, depending on the number of courses that the students take, anywhere between $13,000 to approximately $18,000. Of course, in addition to that scholarship, which is awarded at admission, as I have mentioned before, many of our work study positions and or graduate assistantships, teaching and research assistantships offer to a significant percentage of our students, compensate the students anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000 per year, depending on the venue of the graduate assistantship being offered. In terms of the room and board, again, you see figures on the screen, which correspond to the room and the meal plans. The vast majority of our graduate students actually elect to live on campus because we have a very significant international student population. So they basically end up renting houses surrounding the campus. And on the average, typically, the average expenses of living on campus for a graduate student, within a very close area of the campus walking distance, is anywhere between maybe $400 to $500 a month. And that would be basically our the typical expected accommodation fees per month. And of course, the meals is up to the students. Many of them elect to cook themselves. Many, and that's a parameter that's really under the control of the students. So the value proposition is actually very significant. At the undergraduate level, our full tuition and fees are $36,000. We do offer very generous scholarships out of that amount. And as you can see, these scholarships, as you can tell on the screen, range between $5,000 to $20,000, making, again, the value proposition of the undergraduate education to be truly very affordable. Room and board, you see the figures on the screen. Typically, it's around the $16,000 mark per year. And again, the upperclassmen sometimes do elect, meaning the juniors and the seniors, to live on campus, which of course drastically reduces that amount to a very, very large extent. I think I did point out again the admission requirement, as you can see on the screen. We do have a rolling admission deadline, so we do welcome your applications, including the applications that you are contemplating for the fall semester. Our minimum GPA for the undergraduate admission is 2.5, and you see the thresholds on the screen for our TOEFL/IELTS admission criteria. In addition, of course, to the other parameters regarding admission. And at the graduate level, it varies by program. Typically, our minimum GPA requirement for the graduate degree programs in engineering and business is 2.7. We do have a requirement at the graduate level for 2 letters of recommendation and a statement of purpose. However, these 2 requirements, given COVID-19 and given the difficulty in getting these on time, given the unprecedented circumstances that we're all facing, have been temporarily waived. So truly the most important piece of the application at this point is the transcript, and obviously the requirement in terms of the minimal GPA for students to be accepted, and the English proficiency. So these really more or less are demonstrative of what we are looking forward to in terms of the application. Again, the English proficiency, the transcript with the minimum GPA that we typically accept. We look forward to having your applications, and of course, any questions regarding that, please feel free to direct to our admissions office and to our Ankita, who is on this particular webinar. I think I touched upon the high points in terms of our education capacity and the amazing research and scholarship opportunity offered to our students. And also I pointed out to the interdisciplinarity of our offering and the opportunity for our students to really be trained in the disciplines of the future. As I always say, we are preparing students for job titles that do not exist yet. This is the reality of higher education and the job market. Who would have thought 10, 15 years ago that there would be a job title called social media marketer or autonomous car engineer or a virtual reality designer or augmented virtual reality designer or a nanotechnologist. And the interdisciplinarity of our offering and the innovative work that we do does not only provide our students in the various degree programs with a depth of knowledge in one or two particular areas, again, whether that's AI or computer engineering or finance or an MBA, but also the interdisciplinarity aspect allows you to have a breadth of area in areas that are emerging for these future jobs. And that's one of the reasons that our employment percentage in the college, very, very proudly so, have been 100% for the last many years. Of course, the undergraduate and graduate research component, the service component, the global engagement, and the experiential piece working with industry very closely, both within the classes by working on industry projects and also doing your co-ops and internship, provide an additional depth and dimension to the education that really makes our students gain very significant and great outcomes in terms of the employment potential upon graduation. I think at this point I might defer to my colleagues, either Jeff or Ankita, if they would like to have any additional remarks. Hello.
Yeah, we can
Hello.
hear you.
Yes, yes. Hi, Namrata. So I think if there's any questions, please let us know.
Definitely, Ankita. And I really thank all of you to be here. I thank Tarek, I thank Chair, and I thank you for giving us your time. It was really a wonderful presentation, and I hope most of the things are clear to the students already. And if there are further questions, we'll definitely appoint those questions to you. So I
Okay.
will request you to be here for another 10-15 minutes, so that there, whenever if there is any query from the student, we can assign those to you.
Okay, sure. I will be online. Dr. Tariq and Jeff, thank you so much.
Thank you so
Dr.
much.
Tariq, thank you so much.
My
I would just
pleasure.
like to let you know that Archie Khurana is going to graduate this May from
Okay.
University of Bridgeport. This has been our student, and even the parents got the visa just because of the coronavirus outbreak. They're not be traveling now. But Archie come from a very small town in Madhya Pradesh, and she is completing her MS in finance. And we
Excellent.
got a very good feedback about the school, affordability, opportunity. She was able to do internships. So students, if you are interested in applying to University of Bridgeport, we'll be more than happy to connect you with Archie Khurana, who can certainly, get you the real information about what is the situation there as a student perspective, like the kind of support has been given to her, and anything if you need it, if you are thinking of applying to University of Bridgeport, they're still accepting the application. So I'll encourage you to do the application for September intake if you are ready with your documents. Thank you so much, all of you.
Thank you for the comments, and it has been my pleasure. And of course, if there are any questions later, either after this presentation that I can answer, I would be very happy. I'm glad and very pleased to hear about the success of the student that you mentioned. And needless to say, despite the fact that unfortunately we do not have a formal commencement this May due to the corona situation, we are going to be conducting a very pleasant virtual experience, and then we are inviting all of the students who might not have perused this opportunity to come back to join us for the commencement in December anyway. So we will have a commencement this year. It might be a little bit more delayed, but we are absolutely hoping for the best. And thank you all for your time. It's been a pleasure and honor presenting. And we hope to see you on campus to enjoy the opportunities that we have to offer. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend, and thank you all for listening.
So this brings us to the end of the webinar. I hope the information that you have gained today is going to be useful for you for making an application to the university. If you still have any question or any query about applying to the university, then you contact one of the Study Metro representative. Thank you so much again for joining this webinar. Have a good one.